So for this project, I started with 3 silicone heart molds of 3 different sizes, and I had pre-mixed the resin. It's art resin that I'm using. It's a 1-to-1 ratio resin that you mix slowly for 3 minutes in a cup. And what I did was I put the art resin in the very bottom of each of the hearts just to cover it, so that when I put the glass in, the glass would have something to set in, so every piece of glass was covered. And the glass I'm using for this project is gold reflective fiberglass that I picked up on Amazon. And everything that I'm using in this video I will link in the description below. So after I got the first layer down and I knew all of the glass was touching the resin, then I used up the rest of the glass to make a second layer and just kind of divvied it up over the 3 hearts. And then I went ahead and I took the resin and I just lightly drizzled it over the second layer of glass to make sure every piece of glass had a little bit of resin covering it so that it would stick properly. And then I let this sit overnight. Now, art resin takes a full 72 hours to cure, but about after 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours, you can actually touch it. And it's very pliable at that time. You can actually bend it. And then after a full 72 hours, it is cured and hardened. So this has to sit on a flat level surface at temperatures between 72 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. All of the resins are different. You need to read the directions for the resin that you are using. Next, I took the glass out of the molds, and when you do this, you need to go all the way around the edges and loosen it first to make sure that it is not stuck in any area, because with heat, when you apply heat, you can actually melt the mold to the glass and tear them very easily, so you have to be careful. So it turned out just gorgeous. And for this project, I'm just going to be using the large heart. So next what I did was I went ahead and mixed up a concoction of Artist Gloss varnish and some gold mica powder. So again, the varnish that I'm using is called Artist Gloss varnish, but you can really use any kind of varnish as long as it's clear. I just happened to pick this up on Amazon. And then the mica powder is Unicone Art 24 karat gold, and it is a gorgeous gold. There's all sorts of golds out there, and this is really, really pretty. And I mixed it together, and with a paintbrush I went ahead and first I painted around the edges. And when I was done with that, I set it down and I just painted a little border all the way around, like a 1/4-inch border, getting into all the nooks and crannies. That's what's great about this, because it's liquid and you're using a brush. You can get into all the little nooks and crannies and make a nice border around it to make it look real pretty. And it just turned out gorgeous. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Just like that, you could set it in a little tray and put it on display. It's so pretty. But I decided to flip it over and use E6000 and glue it to this mirror. I thought that would look real pretty. And this E6000 is such a mess. I tell you, once the top gets clogged up, you have to poke a hole in the side. And but anyway, I ended up getting enough out, and I went ahead and I glued it to the mirror. And I thought that looked really pretty sitting on the mirror. Hey everyone, it's my sparkly heart. Valentine's is here. I took my Christmas tree down. I took my Christmas tree down on New Year's Day, actually. My husband went out for a bike ride. He was out of the house, so I just went ahead and did. And all my Christmas stuff is gone except for I still have this sitting up here. I don't know what to do with it. Let's see if you can see it. I gotta turn my camera. That's that one. I still have that up there. I gotta go put it in a closet or something. But anyway, that's about it. So now we're ready for Valentine's, I guess. All the Valentine art comes out. So for this, because I did not put any of the resin on the actual mirror, I really didn't need to prep the back. And I ended up taking all the paper off the back. But you could put paper back on it. I was trying to think, after you take the paper off the back to do resin, it looks kind of blah on the back. I guess you could take paper and glue it back down. But anyway, so I did not use resin on the mirror. You could use resin on the mirror. I just decided to go ahead and put it on with the E6000. And this is so sparkly and pretty. Do you see that? And this is not even in the sunlight. This is just in the regular house light, which really isn't very good. And I just think that turned out so pretty. And this is one that is not attached to a mirror, so I could show it to you up close and a little bit better. And look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I think that is so pretty and sparkly. And normally when you're using these kind of molds, these molds I got off Amazon. I used them last year for some other glass art projects, and so I'm still using them this year. I don't know if they were like $14.99 for the 4 of them. They really weren't very expensive. But normally when you're using silicone molds, the bottom of it is the top. But I just thought the cluster of glass made it look so pretty like that. So this is what the back of it looks like, which is also pretty. But I just like the cluster of glass on top. Now, in order to have this as the top, you would have to have this flat to sit. And I've got the glass so piled up on here that it really wouldn't sit flat. So I wanted to show you the difference. So on this one, I did not pile the glass up so that you could see when the glass is sparser. I don't think it's quite as pretty as the back of this one, which the glass is piled up on the other side. You can see that there's a lot more glass. So if you wanted it to sit flat to be able to use this side, that's what it would have to be like. But that's pretty too, it's just up to you. My preference was this side. So another way, so around this side here, around the edges, I use this varnish, and you can use any brand varnish. I just got that on Amazon. Somebody else, I think who makes resin coasters, was using this, or maybe Geodes, that was it. And so that in combination with some mica powder is what I did the edges with. And you could use this Deco Art, this metallic pen would be fine too, would cover the edges real good. The only problem with this is you can't get in all those little nooks and crannies. It's really hard to do it. The coverage is so much better if you can use a paintbrush. Now you can take this and dab this into a cup, keep on pushing it down in some liquid will form, and you can scoop it up with a paintbrush and maybe get in those nooks and crannies, but the coverage is so much better when you use the varnish and the mica powder. But if you don't want to purchase mica powder and varnish, then you can just use this. But like I said, I just think this is so pretty. It reminds me of a geode. But so anyway, that's done. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to be notified of future videos, go ahead and subscribe. And I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching.